What's up, y'all? So today I want to talk about the three stocks I have, and I want to go into detail and talk about covered calls and selling puts and which one's better. I also want to talk about Boeing and what my plan is since it's going up. Now, I did say it was going to go down, and I still believe that, but it could go up to 180 all of a sudden, so let's see how that plays out. And if it does go to 180, I may be tempted to sell it, take a profit, and start doing either covered calls or selling puts. Now, as you see here, I got 100 shares of Carnival, and that was from a put, and it ended up getting exercised. You also see I bought Moderna. Now, the reason why I bought Moderna, I really want to get into this quick. So, Dr. Fauci didn't really like how Moderna released their vaccine data or something. So, since he said that, as you see, the price went down from whatever it was, like 61 or whatever, to down to 59. And not just too long ago, it was at 80. So I do believe I can. This is not really a long-term stock for me. This is more of a let's make a quick profit off of it. Buy for $59. Maybe it'll go up to 70, and I'll just make about $10 or $11 off of each share. I didn't buy much either. I just wanted to make just a quick profit. So getting into Boeing, back to Boeing. So you see it's at 153. My average cost is that. I'm actually up on it. This is really surprising. I didn't expect Boeing to go back up. Now, with all this happening, rest in peace to George Floyd. He was murdered, and now the protests happening, which is it's good that they're protesting and stuff. And now Trump is I don't really want to get into politics, but as you see here, Trump is losing his absolute mind, and he's I don't know, pulling out the military and doing things that he's not even allowed to do, like trying to send them to the states and stuff for. I know there's looting and stuff, but most of the protesters seem to be peaceful, and now he's just tear gassing and rubber bullets, and it's absolutely wrong, and it's really disgusting. And now I wouldn't be surprised if in the next week or two that the stock market ends up crashing and Boeing goes back to 134 or 135, because that's what's really that's really what it looks like it will happen, because the amount of money they're gonna spend moving the National Guard for no reason, and him over here calling the governors weak and stuff, which is absolutely just disgusting. And so my plan is if this goes to 180, 190, I may just sell this and just be. I'm not saying this is a bad stock, but I found another way, like I said in my last videos, of making like $100 each week, and I could even make more. And I found another way to use that equity that I have in Boeing and just make a lot more money in my other stocks and stuff by doing covered calls and or selling puts. And then it's not really the point of holding Boeing and trying to make maybe an extra $500 to $800. I'd rather just make maybe $200 each week or something, and that'll be even better. So, getting into my conversation about covered calls and selling puts. So, I was doing a put on Carnival, and I got like 40, 50, not much premium, but the the idiot I didn't put it down enough because I was looking at the premium, so Carnival ended up dropping to like $16.50. That's what my put was, and it ended up getting exercised. So now I had to end up buying 100 shares for $16.50. So, but here's the thing. I can still do covered calls on it. Here's what ends up happening is that I made money off of covered calls, and I did it for 17.5, so I'll make $1 a share, which doesn't sound like much, but on top of that, I get the premium. So now you guys are wondering, what is better? Is it covered calls or selling puts? This is how I look at it, depending on the stock, because with cruise stocks, they go up dramatically, or they could drop. Because most people sell puts on, like I said, AT&T and Cisco, which don't go up too much, but don't go down too much, so they're consistently at a price. So the best thing to do is, if you have a good amount of money, is to sell puts first. And don't look at the premium always. Even if you're not going to make $100 a week, don't always look at the premium. Just because they're giving out a high premium, what can happen is if you sell a put and if it drops, you're going to end up buying 100 shares. And if you don't really believe in that company, First off, you shouldn't have done a put on it unless, I don't know, if they're giving even a lot of premium if you're going completely down. Like if I'm going down, let's say I do a put on this one, sell put. If for some reason, as you can see, they're giving $43, and that's where I messed up because I looked at the premium. If I'm doing a put all the way down to like $15.50, unless the company's giving me out like what, $100 for some odd reason of premium, then I would understand. But you don't really want to do it in a company that you don't really trust in or believe will even go up. Otherwise, if it drops, you're gonna have 100 shares. You can do covered calls, which is fine. You can do a covered call and let's say make whatever, and you can make the profit. But what could backfire on you owning 100 shares is this stock right here could end up dropping. Not this stock specifically, but whatever you own could drop all the way down to like a really, really low price, and then you're gonna be like, shit, I just messed up. So that's why I would rather do sell puts, just so I could do a lower price and such so you don't own 100 shares of that stock. So I would rather sell puts, but it all comes down to what you guys want to do. If you do covered calls and you want to buy 100 shares of a company, make sure you do it like make sure you go a little higher, just so even though they don't give much premium, maybe at least $1 higher, just so you make some profit. You don't want to go too low where you're barely gonna make anything, just because they're paying out more premium. Because at the end of the day, I messed up on a covered call one time. I actually had a Norwegian Carnival, and I ended up not going high enough. I only went, what was it, only $1 up. Just like with this one, I'm still doing $1 up, but that's because I don't think it'll go up that much. I was like, it was around like $11.50 a share. I think I did like $12.50, and it ended up hitting this price right here. And I could have made roughly a good amount of money on each of my stocks. So that's why I want people to know is that with covered calls, if you own 100 shares, you never know what can always happen to a company. At least with selling puts, you get it to like, I don't know, get you put your foot in the water and test it out before you end up like not end up buying the company or something. So that's all I want to tell people. I'd rather sell puts. So this is all I gotta say, and yeah, subscribe and like.